Howdy, I'm Drew Brophy. I've been a professional artist for over 20 years. It's my job to make things look cool. My wife Marie and I run a small family business where we get to design all kinds of cool stuff. Every day there's something new going on in my studio. So come with me behind the scenes and watch how a little bit of paint can make stuff look really cool.
How you doing? My name is Ree. I work at Fred's Liquor in San Clemente, California. And I have a motorcycle that I'd like to get painted. And I have a friend of mine, his name is Drew Brophy. I met him through his son, a little kid named Dylan. He's cool as hell. And he's about ready to take my bike down to his shop and give me a really killer paint job. And I'm really stoked to have him do it because the guy is an incredible artist. So I'm going to bring it down there and have him take care of it.
This morning we're getting started really early because I have a friend coming down to get his motorcycle custom painted. So we'll sit down, see what he wants, and then I'm going to show you from start to finish what it takes to customize a motorcycle. Alright, man, Reed, I'm so glad we have this project going because we've been talking about it for a long time.
Yeah, we have. I'm stoked too.
Yeah, and seeing the motorcycle's sick, man.
Yeah.
I think we can do a lot with it. Give me a little bit more idea of what you're into.
Well, I want it to be more like evil, gnarly looking.
Kind of like
you know
your
what I mean?
tattoos.
Yeah, kind of like some of my tats, you know?
This one's mean right
Like
here.
that, yeah, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just incorporate them, you know, where they're kind of like melting different, you know, into each other, different faces, you know what I mean? It's that style.
Right, so I'll kind of have that coming off, wrapping around. And what about like color? Should we do it two different colors to kind of make it look, you know, so maybe this just, you know, like a white and gray or more like bone color?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
So cool, I think we have some ideas.
All right.
And so I'm going to sketch this out more, and then I'm going to sit there and play with the bike and just totally stoke you out.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
I'm ready, dude.
All right.
Very cool.
When I paint motorcycles, I do it totally different than most artists. I use the same paint pens that I use in all my surfboards. This gives the bike a totally different look, way different than airbrush. This bike also had many different parts that I could paint on. This allowed me to create a complete biomechanical machine. Alright, so we're in the back of the shop here, and I want to show everyone what we're up against. We have a helmet, we have the motorcycle. And we've talked to Ree already, and basically he wants to keep this black tank and the flat finish and just almost like do a tattoo style, almost, you know, just on here, and then I'll clear it with flat again. This is just something to show you how you can customize your bike and do something kind of really simple and cool. All right, so let's get to work. I'm just going to start cleaning this off. This is like a cleaner, naphtha it's called. And I just want to kind of get the tank, all the grease or mud or anything on there, and get that all cleaned up. Ooh, all that stuff. All right, so I just finished sanding the tank, and I did this with 600 grit, which is really fine sandpaper. And we already had a really smooth tank. I mean, the tank was nice. It's just more about cleaning it off and making sure that we have a nice surface to paint on. So I'm going to wipe it down one more time with some naphtha and just get all the dust off, and then I'll be ready to draw and then paint. I like doing the sketch while all the parts are on the bike. Sometimes when you design a tank by itself, it just kind of loses something. So this allows me to work with the lines that are already there and lets me play the sketch off the parts of the bike. It also gives you the proper perspective when you walk around the bike or sit on the bike. So this side's done, and then I kind of mimic the same thing on the other side, and now all we have to do is paint. So I got some colors over here. Going to be a blend between light blue and dark blue and white. And so what we're going to do is start with these colors and kind of just blend them in and kind of look like, you know, like skulls in the clouds being blown in the wind or something like that. And we'll see what we come up with. This is the fun part. I just settle in and crank up the music. I have my style that I'm super comfortable with. Now it's just putting in the time and letting these skulls scream. Now that I have all the color done, I can remove the tank, drain the gas, and let it fume out overnight. Then it'll be ready to add all the final details. All right, so we're in the office. Last night we worked all night on the bike, and this morning I really wanted to just show you some of the other parts of the process in the office here. You know, I work on a lot of things at once. I usually have many projects going on, and they're at different stages. So while we're working on the bike, I've also been working on this project, which is the beginning part of the process, which is the sketch phase. And this is for a company called Hianu Tahiti. And what we're doing is coming up with concepts that's going to be turned into t-shirts and fabric and things like that. So just to show you, it starts out with the sketch phase, and I really just melt on the reference material and the conversations that we've had, and just really try to come up with cool stuff, listen to music, and get into the vibe of the project. As you can see here, we have some cool sketches that we've talked about. And really this is the fun stage. And I want to show you this because it's the start of the process. The bike's in the middle of the process. And then if you look around in my office here, these are things that are at the end of the process. You got to remember that this all started out as a big painting. The art on this shoe right here was an 8-foot painting. And it just really translates great. It looks killer. And it's just really nice to see a finished product like this. The black line in my art is where everything comes to life. I had thick lines and thin lines, lines for shading and dots for effect. In the end, I had highlights to make the whole thing pop. The next thing you know, the whole thing starts to come alive. Ree's helmet is a little scully helmet or half helmet. It's real easy to prep and paint. I'm going to do a simpler version of the screaming skulls from the tank, leaving a whole lot of black in the background. Ree's helmet is a great style to paint on with the paint pen, but not all helmets are this easy. My last helmet was quite the project. It was a full face helmet with lots of parts to remove, not to mention the design is super complicated and symmetrical. This helmet took over 16 hours to complete. Painting something round is very difficult. I struggled just trying to hold it. When I finally finished the painting, I had to clear coat it and then polish it. Then I had to figure out how do I put all these pieces back together. In the end, you just hope your client will love it, making all your hard work worthwhile. Here she is, here's your helmet.
Holy sh! Guys! Oh my god! No way.
Pick it up.
Oh,
There's the
oh my god.
So you're definitely going to be able to spot her. The clear coat came out killer up here because I polished it the best there. But around here it's got a little mottled effect, but that could even be polished out more later. But I just didn't want to over polish it at this point since it's so fresh. And just be, for the time being, just don't do anything to it yet. Don't wear it yet. Just let it harden up for a little while. Usually you want to let this thing stand for at least a week before you really start doing some damage to it.
So other people always ask me, what is it like being in the business of art? And it's like being a juggler. Every week, Drew and I have 4 or 5 projects that we're just juggling. It's these magnificent projects that we're working on, and every single one of them has a deadline. And at the end of every project, there's a person or a collector or a company that we have to make happy. And really, that's the business that we're in. We are in the business of making people happy.
I'm here in Ron House's Shaping Bay, where he shaped me this 10.6 big wave gun for Toto Santos down in Mex. You know, it's got green rails, a white deck, and what I want to do is paint this really bright, because sometimes in big surf you lose your board and you want to be able to find it nice and quick. Okay, so now we got to pick out what design we're going to do, and I got my book over here, and I kind of already have something thought out, and something similar to one of these designs, you know, in greens and yellows. And we're not going to do it just like this, but something very similar. So let's start taping the board off. So we want to tape off the stringer because this is kind of a unique blank with a big thick stringer, so I want to leave that in there and paint around it. All right, so we got it all taped off, and what we want to do is add like a layer of color, and I want it really bright. Yeah, look at that. Dude, if you were doing this airbrush, you'd have to wait like an hour before you could do another color because you'd have to wait for it to dry. We got our first color down here, and this is really great. You know, we got this strong yellow to lime green going into green to black. So this is the base color, and what we want to do now is lay this with tape. And the design that we're doing today is a tape cutout. So it's different than the other ones that we've done so far, so pay attention. We got the whole board taped off, and you know, we've got an idea of designs out here, and like I said, we're not going to do exactly like this, but something very similar to pull it down the board. So what we need to do is draw it out, and I'm not going to draw it perfect, I'm just going to kind of feel my way down to complement the board. And we'll cut that out, flip the design over, and then draw it down the other side. All right, so we got our sketch on the board, and it looks pretty good. Like I said, I just kind of felt my way around the board, didn't stress. And this is kind of like a flame tribal looking thing. And so all we have to do now is cut it out with the razor blade. And if you ever used a razor blade, that's great. But if you haven't, you know, just try to use a little bit of the corner and don't dig too much into the board. You just want to cut the tape and not so much the board. It's not a big deal if you cut it, but you know, just try to do it very lightly. All right, so we cut this side of the board out, and so now we got to decide which pieces to peel up. And we want to save these pieces so we can kind of lay them on the other side so we can try to get it close of a mirror image as possible. All right, so now we need to get the design on the other side. I use a ruler and I just mark these different points. So it doesn't need to be perfect, but I just want to mark these different points and see how far they are from the stringer. The stringer's right in the middle. So this one's about 1.5 inches, so just kind of hit that 1.5 inches. So you can see how it works. This one's 3.5. And I'll just go through all the points and do that, and then I'll draw the design, cut it out, piece of cake. All right, so we got it all cut out. It didn't take that long. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spray some yellow here, and then I'm going to do a fade from purple to red, going into orange along the sides right here. Maybe accent these a little bit. Now I might even come in with a little black and accent that. All right, so let's pull the tape and see what we got. So we got this done. This is a perfect example of a cutout tape design, you know, simple flame tribal look. So I'm going to go one step further with my trusty chain and add a little bit more character to it, and watch this. We're all done. This thing looks great. A perfect cutout paint job. So hopefully you can have a good time with this. All right, I almost forgot. I could put Ron House's logo on here, and we are all done. With all the painting done, I need to hurry up and finish Ree's tank and helmet. He's on his way, and he can't wait to see it. I begin with multiple layers of flat clear, gently sanding between each coat. Don't have much time, but it's important to do this right so that it comes out killer. Soon it's time to break out the tools and put this machine back together.
That's real neat.
Isn't that cool? This is for Ree. Mm-hmm. What do you think? You think he's gonna like it?
Mm-hmm, definitely.
Definitely. You like how it's like part of the gas can? Mm-hmm. Hey, look at this, Dylan. Look.
A helmet.
Yeah. So
that's a small helmet.
It's gonna keep Ree safe.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You think he's ready to see it?
Yeah.
All right. You want to go get Mom?
Yep.
All right.
Come on, Mom. Come on, Ree.
Let's see it. Wow. This is it, man. 2 days.
Are you kidding me? No way, dude. Oh
Crazy, look. Where's the sketch?
That is Drew,
So we kind of got the sketch.
you killed it. You killed it.
No flames.
No flames.
And then helmet's just nice and subtle. Let's see how that thing.
Oh, no way.
I didn't want to do too much to the helmet because I just.
That right there is sick.
And then the other side's. Take this. The other side's like the same but a little different. Look at how crazy this skull is right here.
Oh my God, Drew.
Woo! I like this guy. Look, just.
Oh, that's the sickest right there.
Yeah.
I love that right there.
It's kind of like that, you know, Japanese water-looking stuff with spikes. Kind of like looks like a rib.
So this is beyond what I expected.
This guy's cool.
Oh, that
Just
is
have-
just sick right there, dude.
Just spikes. Sit on it and get that baby going.
Dude. Oh, Drew. I love you beyond words. I can even.
2 days and another great paint job down.
Awesome. Love it.
Right on, man.
Killer.
Just another day at the paint shop.
Yay.
This project was really special to me. Ree's a good friend, and tricking out his bike is something we've been talking about for a long time. Seeing Ree and his screaming skulls burning down the street is so cool. I will always remember how stoked he was when he first saw his bike finished. Life is good.
Got my first Harley when I was 20 years old and had one ever since. 46 now, and I'm gonna ride forever.